Hello again, my friends. Once more, welcome back to the cellar of procrastination, where I have decided to circle the procrastination back. I was going to do nothing, but I'm putting that off. So instead, I'm going to do something. And the thing I'm going to be doing is taking the board the camera is currently sitting on, removing the clutter. It's not that much, actually. It's just stuff I've been working on this week. On his shave. Anyway, this board's coming out. It's going on the worktop. I'm going to get the point servos mounted up. We're going to have a little look at something first, because I've had a question on how exactly I calibrate these things. So I'm going to do that because I need to do that before I fit them to the board. So I'm going to just do that in a minute. Yeah, and today's job is fit stuff. Probably not going to get it all wired up in this video, but we're going to fit some things. And like I say, we'll have a look at calibrating some servos. So, catch you in a moment. This is Leopard Street. And it's getting towards having a station. Yeah. Okay, so this is my test board. Yeah, I'm just going to move a couple of bits and pieces out of the way slightly so I can shift some bits over. One of the things I didn't consider when I built this, it's a little bit wider than if I tilt the camera that way. You can see the some LEDs over at the other end there as well. But this is what a board controller looks like. So we've got the controller in the middle, servo controller, servos, one of the I/O controllers connected to a couple of relays, a lighting board, and off the side here there's some lights. So what I can do, there's a little light there for that. So if I forget which way around this goes. There's also a servo arm here. We'll zoom in a sec. But that makes that move that way. If I now tell it to close, goes the other way. And it's all working. So what this does is this shows me how I can make this setup work. So if we come over here, I'm going to try and... Give me a minute. I need to I need to adjust the camera angle because the stand I've got won't actually go to the end of it. Back in a sec. Okay, back. A little bit of jiggery pokery. So here we have a servo. Here we have the controller. Now, if I set that is currently set to closed. If I can work around the other end of the desk, I can tell it to throw, so it goes over that way. And to calibrate my servos, what I do is I use a feature, software I wrote, which says midpoint. Now, all the slow-moving stuff, this is all my own code. This was written, it was originally written for a Raspberry Pi Pico. When they first came out, obviously, there weren't drivers for these things. So I thought, I have to write my own. So to calibrate a servo, basically, it's set to mid, so I unplug that. So I don't need to use the test one. I bring in my new servo, my new shiny, fresh out the packet servo, and I plug it in. The editor's decision is final on that. I plug it in. So that goes in. That should now be in its center position. Some of them come centered, some of them don't. So I can put the little arm on it there, which you can see. And then obviously it falls over because it falls over. What I'm going to do now is tell that to move a little because I want to test it works. So that's gone that way. I go thrown, goes back the other way. It's worth doing when you get these just to test it, and then mid, and it goes back in the middle. And that is that servo done. I do have some others I'm just going to do quickly because I need another 3 of these things. So I'm just going to plug this one on. That's there, and again, put the arm on it and take that through its positioning. It should be in the middle, I hope. And I've made sure I've got the ones with the suitable size arms this time. So thrown, goes that way, closed, that way, mid, goes that way. Done. So that's that one. It's a simple process. it does need doing, because the last thing you want to do with one of these is fit it onto your layout and then find out, after you've gone through the whole hassle of setting the thing up, that it goes full scale one way as your midpoint, which is always a tad annoying. These servos are quite strong. One of the little comments I've had actually recently is something Kelly noted, is electrical safety. Switch things off when you're not using them. Fire risk and all that. And yeah, I mean, to a level, perhaps it's slightly overblown. One thing to note, however, with these things, they're a bit more powerful than you might think. I mean, this diddy little servo here, yeah, it's 5 volt. You think, well, how much power is going to go through that? If you stall this, it can draw upwards of an amp. If it draws upwards of an amp, it gets quite warm. That's when you can start having problems. You start a couple of these stall, each drawing an amp or two. You might find you overload the power supply you've got for them. Normally not a problem. A power supply will cut out, or its voltage will dip and it'll brown out. Some of the cheaper Chinese knockoff power supplies, not just knocking China, there are some dodgy ones that made elsewhere as well, but just watch out for them. They won't have the thermal overload. They won't have the cutout protection. They will overheat. That's where your problem comes in, because then you get stories every year about a house being burnt down by Christmas lights. It tends to be the same sort of thing. Anyway, that's the servos calibrated. I'm going to go mount the board up, and I'll be back in a sec. Right, so here we are. This is the underside of this board. I'll angle it slightly that way, see the other bits. This is exactly as you saw it last time. It's still got the temporary leads up here, which I need to remove. Put them over there, get them out of the way. The new drop down is going to be over here. So I'm going to need to put something in this area here to connect that to. I may use a smaller one of these. I might use a decent size one. Or again, yeah, I can just run some wires over here. There's going to be another one of these terminal blocks over this side. You can see the remnants of the 3 points, the bits that come underneath here. So these are all going to need wiring up. That's one, that's another, that's the third. That's going to get the new relay board, which is going to go over here somewhere. This bit is going to be goods yard, if I'm remembering rightly. Nope. This bit is station platform. So I've got to watch what goes in here. There's going to be a big chunk taken out in a couple of places for uncouplers. So this bit is a sort of void area. Can't really use it. This area, this side, is the goods area. So again, need to be a little bit careful. I'm probably going to do what I did the other way. I'm going to mount the control panel on one of these. Most of its stuff's over this side. I'll put one of the little PCF boards over here, which can talk to that. I'll put the other one over here somewhere. And I'm probably going to mount bits over there. First bit, though, is the point motor servos, which are going to go in here, over here as well. Now, I've done all this in recent videos, so I'm not going to film this. I'm going to come back in a bit when I've got it done. And we'll have a look at what we've got and where stuff's ended up. Because you don't need to see me do it all again. So, catch you in a few minutes. Okay, here we are sometime later. It's not finished. I'm going to be finishing it later, but this is as much time as I've really had over the Friday. So, servos and that are in, point motors are in, new relay board is in over this side. Controller will have a cable from there to there, doesn't exist yet. Power to there doesn't exist yet. That will run all the way over here, down to here. There's another one there which will feed this. Again, power doesn't exist yet. The servo controller is here, largely populated. That will have a wire that will come out the top. That'll come round, plug into there. I have the power connectors for the excuse me, the controller plugged in at that end. They'll be coming up here. They're not connected yet because I'm going to have that ground wire, that ground wire, that ground wire coming out of it. So I'm going to need and that one. So I'm going to have 4 ground wires coming out of there. So it'll be 2 triples. 5-volt power, which will go to there primarily, and then to the coils. So that's going to be multiples, and then the 5-volt logic I could probably connect, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that for tonight. The points, I say, they're in. I've done a bit of continuity testing, so their power down state on here is correct. As you can see, there is a little bit of cable management. This part of the board is not having anything run through it from the other side. That is this area over here. So this is the lines that come off to the TMD. There isn't planned to be anything in this area. Just as well, really. I could do some little bits here if I need to, but I'm hoping not to. This one is under the goods yard. Along with that, there is space around here for a signal, which is the yellow dot. That's about here. It'll probably be moved to be a little bit over here. That works. All down there is goods yard. Over here, this area at the top is going to be platform roads. Going to be up here. Somewhere around here, there's going to be a honking great hole because there's going to be an uncoupler. There may be others up here. There's going to be other sensors fitted in this area. Down here is goods yard throat entrance area stuff, which will be down there. I've not cut the rods off yet, but they work. I can sort of change the points. I've not taken the springs out yet either, but that is it for Friday. So that's that. Next step is obviously finish this. Probably do a little bit more cable tidying. Again, I need to make sure it doesn't hang down this way too far because it sits over the top of all of that, which obviously also needs tidying up. I'm going to take out these little volt things and my track power indicator because, to be blunt, I can't see them anymore. Now I've got the upper deck on, can't see them. So yeah, so tomorrow is going to be final stages of adding wires, which is going to be power connectors to all of this. Basically, I need to measure the distances, make the looms, come back, wire them in. But I've got to do that one, that over there for the power side before I can do anything else. I need to get all the ground and other bits and pieces up here. So that's the first job. After that, I've got there to there, there to there, same over there, and then one to there. So I've got 5 little wiring looms to do. Again, I'll be doing them one at a time. How long does the wire need to be so it's not overly long? Possibly with a clip in the middle just to help hold it down. Over here, it'd be nice to have wire ones that came out the side, but they're going to come out the top, go over, and again, there might be a clip in the middle to hold it. They're obviously going to have plenty of clips, but they'll be all one at a time. Then it can go back on the board, and then it can be tested. But anyway, that'll be the next video, which should be around Tuesday at some point, which should have given me time to put this back together, do a little bit of fault finding, because let's face it, something ain't going to work. And then away we'll go. So I will catch you all in the next one. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much for watching this, hopefully quite brief by the time I've finished editing it, update. And goodbye.